Hey there everyone, it's Jasper with the Boys and Girls Club of Contra, Costa, and today we have got another secret ingredient that we are going to be using for a recipe this week. Are you ready to see what it is? Let's find out. Whoa! All right, check it out. We have got ourselves some chocolate.
Chocolate? Did you say chocolate?
Powder, or cocoa powder.
Chocolate? Chocolate! Chocolate! Chocolate!
Now, this stuff is unsweetened, but let's ask ourselves our 5 criteria for this ingredient, shall we? First off, what is it? What are the health benefits? How do I store it? How do I prepare it? And finally, how do I cook this thing? So, what is this ingredient? Well, cocoa powder is one of the items that can be refined from the original cocoa bean. Now, the actual cocoa bean contains seeds that are processed down to create 2 main ingredients. That is usually cocoa nibs, and from cocoa nibs, you get yourself either cocoa powder or cocoa butter. These 2 ingredients are used to primarily make all different forms of chocolate, whether it's the chocolate bar that we all know super well, or it can be used in this case, a powder format, which can be used to flavor things to make them taste like chocolate that we all know and love. The original process of taking cocoa seeds, roasting them, grinding them down into various forms can actually be traced back to ancient South America, with cultures like the Aztecs or the Mayans. They actually considered the bean to be a huge heavenly delicacy, and they used it for important events or even as currency. That's pretty cool. Would you want to get paid in cocoa beans? So, what are the health benefits of this item? Well, early chocolate actually came in a liquid form and was very bitter to taste. Now, when it comes to chocolate, the more cocoa in it, the darker it is considered. Now, dark chocolate is actually lower in sugar and contains many various minerals and vitamins, such as fiber, iron, magnesium, copper, manganese, and also contains a high concentration of antioxidants, which play a role in preventing heart disease, cancer, and other diseases. Now, the downside to dark chocolate is that it contains little to no sweetness, not like the chocolate that most of us are familiar with. That is when you get companies that produce high sugar content chocolates, like milk chocolate, white chocolate, to meet the demand for flavor and texture. There are so many ways to consume chocolate, it's actually not considered a great idea to eat a ton of the stuff. You see, most chocolate contains high amounts of saturated fats, sugar, which makes it a high energy food, but when not eaten responsibly can actually lead to health problems like acne, obesity, high blood pressure, coronary heart disease, coronary artery disease, and did I already mention diabetes? When having this sweet treat, remember, everything in moderation. So, how do I store this item? Well, like majority of food-based items, this item actually would be better stored in a dry, cool place. If we were working with full chocolate bars, you would not want to leave that stuff out in a place that is humid or hot. Anything above 70 degrees, and the oil that's in a chocolate bar will actually melt, causing your chocolate to become a goopy mess. And while that mess is technically safe to eat, as long as the packaging isn't damaged, you definitely won't have the texture and taste that you originally desired. So, how do I prepare chocolate? Well, with chocolate powder, this stuff can actually be incorporated into various forms of baking, or in our immediate case, you can actually make your own chocolate bar at home. If you're working with an already made chocolate bar, really you can prepare it however you wish. Take it out of the packaging, chop it, grate it, melt it, shape it into molds. You can literally get a job as a chocolatier and learn the science behind constructing and presenting chocolate. So we might have answered the question of how do I cook this item a little bit in our last question. But when it comes to an actual bar of chocolate, it is ready to go right out of the packaging. But for our recipe this week, this stuff is gonna need a little bit more attention. Because for our recipe this week, we are actually going to be taking cocoa powder and cocoa butter and making our own chocolate bars. Now, this isn't gonna be like melting down a regular bar of chocolate. This is gonna require technique, skill, patience, but the results are fantastic. If you're ready to learn how to make chocolate with me, let's go ahead and get into our next video. Come join us as we learn how to make chocolate from scratch, real chocolate. If you liked this video or you learned something, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you next time. All right? Take care, everybody.